Fans, brace yourselves because what just happened on WWE programming isn't just shocking, it's horrifying. Jacob Fatu, one of the most unstoppable forces in professional wrestling today, found himself in a situation that nobody should ever face inside a ring, or anywhere near it. The crowd was on edge, and then it happened. Solo Sikoa, driven by rage, took things to a level that crosses every line, and the aftermath has left Jacob Fatu fighting for his health. Picture this. The tension between Fatu and Sikoa had been boiling for weeks. SmackDown fans witnessed an escalating feud, with Solo Sikoa showing flashes of uncontrollable anger and frustration every time Jacob Fatu got the upper hand. Everyone thought it was just part of the storyline, just another brawl to hype up the audience. But this was beyond scripted limits. This was a moment of raw, unfiltered aggression that went too far. It all culminated outside the ring. Solo Sikoa, fueled by uncontrollable rage, launched an attack that no one expected. He threw Jacob Fatu towards Acar parked at ringside. Yes, Acar. The crowd gasped in disbelief, some screaming in horror, as Fatu crashed into the hood. The sound echoed through the arena like a bomb going off. This wasn't a move you see every night, it was terrifyingly real. The impact left Fatu writhing in pain, clutching his side, and screaming in agony. Fans immediately realized the gravity of the situation. Paramedics rushed to Fatu's side almost instantly, and the WWE universe went silent. Social media exploded. Clips of the incident flooded Twitter and Instagram. Fans couldn't believe what they were witnessing. Comments ranged from shock to fury, as everyone debated how far Solo Sikoa had gone. The hashtags #justice for Jacob and #Solo Sikoa out of control started trending almost immediately. This was more than just a storyline, it was a moment that crossed lines fans thought were untouchable. And here's why this enraged the audience even more. Jacob Fatu has been a symbol of strength, resilience, and dominance. Every match he steps into, he carries not just his own legacy but the hopes of fans who have followed him for years. To see him brutally slammed into a stationary car in front of a live audience is not only terrifying, it's disrespectful. The fury in the crowd wasn't just for Fatu, it was for the art of wrestling itself. But let's talk about Solo Sikoa for a moment. His actions weren't just about winning or proving a point. This was rage, pure and uncontrolled. WWE has built him up as an aggressive powerhouse, but tonight, he crossed the line. This was a level of brutality that blurred the lines between storyline and real-life danger. And that's why fans are talking, arguing, and demanding answers. How could a promotion allow something this risky to happen in front of hundreds of fans and millions watching at home? The emergency response was immediate. Jacob Fatu was quickly loaded onto a stretcher, clearly in pain, and rushed to the hospital. Cameras captured every moment. Paramedics stabilizing him, WWE officials watching anxiously, and Solo Sikoa standing in the background with a mix of defiance and shock at what had just unfolded. The visuals were haunting, the atmosphere tense, and the emotional impact on fans unmistakable. And this isn't just about Fatu's physical condition, though that alone is terrifying. It's about the storyline implications, the shock value, and the emotional rollercoaster WWE just put its audience through. Fans are asking, will Solo Sikoa face consequences? Will Jacob Fatu be okay? Will WWE double down on this shocking angle, or is this a moment that will haunt the roster for weeks to come? The arena was still buzzing from the chaos, but social media exploded faster than any pyrotechnics could. Clips of Solo Sikoa's brutal assault went viral within minutes. Fans were in shock, debating whether what they saw was a scripted moment or something dangerously real. Every wrestling analyst, commentator, and superfan's timeline lit up with disbelief. #Jacob Fatu and #Solo Sikoa trended worldwide as people demanded answers. The outrage wasn't just online, it was emotional, raw, and palpable. Backstage, sources say the locker room was stunned. Wrestlers who had seen some of Sikoa's intensity before admitted they had never witnessed anything like this. Jacob Fatu is known as one of the most durable, resilient competitors in the business, yet even he was left writhing in pain, clutching his ribs and side. WWE officials scrambled, coordinating with medical staff and security to ensure Fatu got immediate attention. The seriousness of the incident became painfully obvious. This wasn't just a bump, this was a major injury. Fans at ringside described the scene as terrifying. Some were in tears, some were shaking their heads, and others screamed at Solo Sikoa as he stood in the middle of the ring, seemingly proud of what he had done. The look on his face told a story, a mix of anger, power, and maybe even regret that went unsaid. The chants of, "You're out of control," and, "Shame on you," filled the arena. WWE may have scripted the incident to create shock value, but even so, the emotional reaction from the crowd was real and intense. And the impact on Jacob Fatu's career cannot be understated. Reports indicate he was rushed to the hospital immediately after the attack, where doctors began evaluating the extent of his injuries. Fans worry about how long he could be out of action. Could this derail one of the most promising careers in modern wrestling? Could Solo Sikoa's uncontrollable actions have caused lasting damage? These are the questions WWE has yet to answer, but the conversation is already dominating wrestling communities worldwide. Now, let's consider the storyline potential. WWE thrives on shocking moments, but this level of brutality is unprecedented. Solo Sikoa has always been portrayed as aggressive, but this assault elevates him into an unpredictable, dangerous character. Fans are already theorizing that WWE might lean into this angle, making Sikoa a darker, more ruthless figure in the roster. Meanwhile, Jacob Fatu's return could be positioned as one of the most epic revenge arcs in WWE history. Imagine him coming back, stronger than ever, demanding retribution for the violent attack that left him hospitalized. That storyline alone could dominate social media, sell tickets, and captivate fans for months. The reaction from commentators and analysts was immediate. They described the scene as unbelievable, heart-stopping, and one of the most shocking moments in recent WWE history. Nobody could wrap their heads around how Fatu, a superstar known for his dominance and strength, was left so vulnerable by Sikoa's raw aggression. Analysts predicted weeks of fallout, arguing that WWE had just created a feud with unparalleled intensity. Even WWE officials are reportedly split. Some argue the angle generates enormous buzz, calling it a historic moment that will redefine both superstars' characters. Others worry about the real-life implications, injury liability, safety concerns, and the potential backlash from fans who fear WWE pushed the limits too far. But one thing is undeniable: no one is talking about anything else. The incident has consumed the wrestling world overnight. The fallout from Solo Sikoa's attack on Jacob Fatu didn't stop at the arena. Social media continued to erupt with anger, disbelief, and wild speculation. Fans weren't just upset, they were furious. "This is insane," trended alongside hashtag Jacob Fatu injured and hashtag Solo Sikoa out of control. People were asking how WWE could allow such a dangerous stunt, whether it was scripted or real, and what the long-term consequences would be for Fatu. Even casual viewers couldn't ignore the shocking footage. Backstage, the atmosphere was reportedly tense. Wrestlers who had long respected Fatu were reportedly boiling with anger. Some insiders suggested that locker room conversations were heated, with talent questioning Sikoa's judgment and WWE's safety protocols. Imagine the frustration. You've trained, wrestled, and survived countless matches, yet one moment of unchecked aggression leaves one of your peers hospitalized. Tension was palpable, and it wasn't just about storyline, this was real concern, fear, and outrage. Meanwhile, WWE management scrambled to address the incident publicly. Official statements were vague but hinted that Fatu's health was a priority. Meanwhile, analysts and commentators dissected every frame of the attack, breaking down the mechanics of how Sikoa executed the move and why Fatu's positioning left him vulnerable. Every replay was brutal. The trajectory toward the car, the impact, and the instant realization that this wasn't a normal wrestling bump. Fans watching at home could feel the adrenaline spike, the shock, and the fear for Fatu's safety. And the storyline implications are massive. WWE has the potential to turn this real-life injury into a multi-layered narrative that grips audiences for months. Fatu's eventual return could be one of the most intense revenge arcs in modern wrestling history. Imagine weeks of cryptic messages, backstage confrontations, and near encounters leading to an explosive confrontation between the two. Fans are already theorizing. Will Fatu come back with a new, more aggressive persona? Will he seek vengeance in a way that eclipses everything Solo Sikoa has done before? The possibilities are endless, and the anticipation is driving fan engagement through the roof. The fanbase is also demanding accountability. Some argue that Sikoa should face punishment, temporary suspension, storyline repercussions, or even fines. Others see it as a perfect storm for elevating Sikoa's character into an unstoppable heel. WWE now faces a delicate balancing act: satisfy fans' outrage while keeping the storyline compelling. Every decision in the coming weeks will be scrutinized, analyzed, and dissected by a passionate and vocal audience. Even more, this incident reshapes the dynamic of the WWE roster. Superstars who were once aligned or friendly with Sikoa may now be wary. Wrestlers might rethink alliances, challenge strategies, and backstage trust could be shaken. WWE thrives on tension, but this kind of real or perceived danger introduces a level of unpredictability that fans love, but talent and officials may find unnerving. And let's not forget the merchandise and media implications. Fans want Jacob Fatu safe and healthy, and WWE knows that a story like this, if handled well, can drive engagement, ticket sales, and pay-per-view buys. The company can frame Fatu's recovery as heroic, his return as triumphant, and Sikoa's aggression as the ultimate villainy. The emotional stakes are already through the roof, and WWE has crafted a situation where fan investment is guaranteed. Finally, the sheer audacity of the move is what will keep fans talking for weeks. Throwing Jacob Fatu into Acar wasn't just shocking, it was unprecedented. The anger, fear, and empathy fans feel right now create a pressure cooker that WWE can leverage into one of the most compelling storylines of the year. Every tweet, post, and discussion online fuels the intensity. Every fan comment demanding justice or revenge amplifies the emotional gravity. This isn't just a match or a feud, this is a cultural moment within wrestling. Now let's talk about Jacob Fatu's recovery and what this means for WWE's storytelling. Fans are desperate for updates, and every social media post, every backstage report, is dissected for clues. Will Fatu be out for weeks, months, or longer? The uncertainty is fueling speculation. Every fan is imagining the moment he steps back into the ring, vengeance burning in his eyes. This isn't just a comeback, it's a reckoning. The anticipation is almost unbearable, and WWE knows exactly how to use it to maximize emotional investment. Meanwhile, Solo Sikoa's character is evolving before our eyes. Before tonight, he was already known as an aggressive powerhouse, but this attack catapults him into a new stratosphere of heel dominance. He's no longer just a challenger, he's a destructive force, a villain who fans love to hate. Analysts are predicting that Sikoa's aura of unpredictability will make him a constant threat to anyone in the locker room. With Jacob Fatu out of commission, Sikoa can now run wild, dominating segments, promos, and matches, instilling fear in both the audience and his peers. The fan outrage is reaching record levels, and that's part of what makes this storyline gold for WWE. Every tweet, Instagram post, TikTok video, and Reddit thread keeps the story alive. Fans are demanding justice for Jacob Fatu while simultaneously debating whether this level of in-ring aggression should have ever happened. The tension between excitement and fear is what makes wrestling so compelling, and WWE has managed to create a perfect storm. Let's not forget the potential pay-per-view implications. Fatu's return could be the main event of a future PPV, with Sikoa as the ultimate villain. Fans are already theorizing about scenarios. Fatu coming back with a new aggressive edge, attacking Sikoa before he even gets a chance to challenge for the title, or setting up a cinematic, high-stakes match that capitalizes on this real-life tension. WWE could turn this into a multi-month saga that keeps viewers glued to every episode, analyzing every interaction, promo, and match leading to the climactic showdown. Backstage, the dynamics have reportedly shifted as well. Wrestlers who were previously neutral are now aligning themselves, picking sides, and plotting strategies around this feud. Trust is on edge, alliances are being tested, and the ripple effect of Solo Sikoa's actions is reshaping the locker room hierarchy. The tension isn't just on-screen, it's palpable behind the scenes, adding layers of realism that fans are craving. The emotional stakes are at an all-time high. Fans have connected with Jacob Fatu as a hero, a dominant force with a relentless spirit. Seeing him hurt and vulnerable generates an intense emotional response. WWE knows this, and if handled correctly, the eventual payoff will be unforgettable. When Fatu finally returns, every fan will feel the weight of this moment. The boos directed at Sikoa will be deafening, the cheers for Fatu will be explosive, and the atmosphere will be electric. And the beauty of this situation? It's unpredictable. WWE has given fans a scenario that could unfold in countless ways. Will Sikoa continue his reign of terror? Will Fatu come back with a vengeance so brutal it shocks everyone? Could other wrestlers get involved, forming alliances and rivalries that heighten the drama even further? The possibilities are endless, and that's exactly why fans are obsessed with this storyline. Finally, let's consider the narrative arc. This isn't just an injury angle, it's the beginning of a redemption story. Jacob Fatu has been tested, betrayed, and humiliated in front of millions. When he returns, he will not just fight for victory, he will fight for justice, pride, and revenge. This storyline has the potential to define WWE programming for months, creating moments fans will remember for years.